If this were 5 years ago, you probably would have seen the title of the video and you would have known what I was going to say. Blah blah blah, Pokemon's dying. Blah blah blah, Pokemon said this game looks like shit. Well, at a certain point, you quit caring. You quit giving a shit about the downfall of a game franchise that got milked to death. And eventually you quit giving a shit because, well, other people are calling this shit out for what it is, and people are losing interest and all. And pretty soon, you eventually forget it exists. You forget this whole thing exists. You quit giving a shit. You're apathetic towards what happens. Kind of like what your parents are after the 100th terrorist attack in Europe. Oh, I mean the Middle East. I can't tell anymore. Or after, let's just say, or after, there's some TV show or news article about teenagers doing stupid shit to themselves, and the media just running all these news articles about how great it is and all, or how bad it is, or one of the two. And at that point, when you've seen it for the 100th time, you quit giving a shit because at that point, how does this affect you or anything? It's not like it affects you. And what do you want to do? Walk around more depressed in your 9 to 5 job working somewhere? I mean, you already hate your job. So why should you be worried about what these dumbasses somewhere are doing unless of course you're getting entertainment out of it, in which case I completely understand. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say this. Every time something bad happens too many times in a row, people quit focusing on it. People quit caring about it. People kind of get desensitized to it, get used to it and all. So what does this have to do with Pokemon? Well, I logged into Discord the other day, and literally everybody I was around was talking about how this new Pokemon game looks like complete shit. And so I watched this trailer, and what do you know? It does look like complete shit. But at the same time, who could have seen it coming? Everybody could have seen it coming. Pokemon is a literal cash-in franchise. That's all that is. They basically okay, so somebody I know once said in a voice call that the Japanese gaming industry was like a whole industry, a whole bunch of developers making Maddens every single year. They're just making Maddens. Every developer is fucking making Madden. That's what the Japanese gaming industry is like, and if anything, Pokemon's probably the worst example. Now, Nintendo. They usually wait a few years, and then they release the same game they released on their last system. It's a genius business move, because Nintendo fans will buy the same shit every year, and, and they change a few little things here or there so that Nintendo fans will flame you in a comment section if you disagree with them and say it's a cash-in. The thing is with Nintendo's games is they're the same shit every year, but they space it out a few years so it doesn't look that way. Pokemon, on the other hand, that is probably one of the most milked franchises, and when they're not milking the shit out of it with main series games, they're releasing spin-off games like this new Pokemon Let's Go, whatever the fuck it is. I'm gonna use Google real quick. Pokemon. Yeah, it's Let's Go. I thought it was. I was confused. I thought I was getting confused with Pokemon Go, but no, it's Pokemon Let's Go. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. And the whole thing is it's this Pokemon role-playing game, except let's strip out what little difficulty there was left. What little illusion of difficulty there was with the whole battle system that sucks anyways, because when you try to play it, because if you play the single player, you just press A. If you play the multiplayer, it's a bunch of nerds who want you to play a very specific way. I mean, if you thought playing like some of the Call of Duty titles with nerds who like get obsessive over certain play styles and all, if you thought that shit was bad, it's worse with Pokemon. Just look at Smogon. And so, what happens is you get this shitty gameplay, and they've made it even worse because this is now a console 3D Pokemon game with the gameplay of Pokemon Go, and there's even a thing you can buy to quote-unquote enhance your gameplay experience. It's like a Pokeball, and all you do is swipe forward and catch the Pokemon. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna give my money to Nintendo to play basically console-fied Pokemon Go. I mean, look, the trailer even looks like one of those goddamn mobile game trailers where you've got gameplay, where you've got this trailer that looks like it's got some real world aesthetics in it, and it doesn't really look like the game itself, but then you see them cut to the mobile gameplay footage and it looks like shit, because it's a phone. And that's what this new Pokemon game fucking looks like. But at the same time, I can't really get emotionally invested in how a series I used to give a shit about is going down the toilet because I've seen this coming for years. Ever since Black and White was a piece of shit game, I haven't given a shit about Pokemon whatsoever. But you know, all these people are gonna like lap this shit up anyway, or well, some of them are, because I know a lot of people who are like looking at Pokemon and they're like, what the fuck is this shit? They're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, that's what they're like with this new Pokemon game. They're having to reaffirm people that, yes, this is a spin-off game. But you know that the main series game is going to be just as easy, because how else would some soy-fueled college student, or man-child, or 5-year-old be able to play the games otherwise? Because, you know, if you want a tactical RPG, Pokemon ain't your thing. It's like walking into fucking McDonald's and asking for a premium Angus burger. You're not going to get that kind of shit at McDonald's. You're going to get a fucking cheap-ass burger or a Big Mac that's still cheap because it feels like it's cheap and all. You're going to get that. But you're not going to get some super fancy thing. No, no, no. You go play another game series if you want that at this point, like Shin Megami Tensei. Because with Pokemon, that's the thing. It's a complete joke of a series, but who keeps slapping it up? That's right, Pokemon fans. Pokemon fans who are going to buy anything regardless. Because that's what they're going to fucking do. Like, if they made it any harder, Pokemon fans wouldn't, they'd get pissed off at it for some reason. And that's what's going to happen. Pokemon, whatever Pokemon game's on the Switch, whatever game comes out on the Switch that's Pokemon's going to fucking suck. I just know it. I just fucking know it. And that's all that needs to be said, gamers. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more. Oh, and you know how I know Pokemon's fucking dying? Look at who's playing Pokemon now. And compare that to 10 years ago when you could go to like any public place, like a theme park, or like a train, or a bus, or airplane, or whatever the fuck, and you'd see kids on their Nintendos playing Pokemon. You know what you're not seeing anymore? That. They're all on their smartphones now, and the only people left on their Nintendos are grown-ass, soy-fueled failures of adults who keep worshipping the Pokemon franchise. And kids. And some kids. I mean, sure, not every Pokemon fan is like this, but so many of the ones I saw at my college fit this criteria. That's all that needs to be said. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more, gamers.